All right. You are probably in the yearly planner. You're eventually going to find out in the monthly planner that I thought I could backwards things and I mentally can't. So, welcome back to Tenacious Yearly Planner, where we figure out how you're going to crush all those goals for the year, no matter how scary they are. So, if you're watching this, you are either team like, cool, we're going to do the budgets, totally normal, or your team, the fuck you mean I'm going to do a budget, no thank you, and you stick your head in the sand. So I have been team head in the sand for a few years, and in the speaking world, they have something called earning the right. So this is where I earn the right with you that I know what I'm talking about. I struggle with that so hard in this topic because my relationship with money has been poor. Both I have been poor and my relationship with it is poor. And what I have found out is that money is a mental game and it takes a lot of dismantling. So you're dismantling the little voices in your head, you're dismantling what the world tells you, you're dismantling your desires and your wants versus your needs. Like there are layers. And for a team stick your head in the sand, there's also a lot of tears. Like a lot of tears. So if your team, everything is normal, that's totally cool, and I love that for you, and I think that's amazing. For the rest of us in the world, what I will share is that if you have never done a budget, I want you to do this one thing next, and then you're going to pause it, and next month you're going to come back and you're going to do the next step, okay? So if you've never done a budget before, and this terrifies you or doesn't, but you've never done it, I want you to go find your banking app and find out if it has a budget tool in it. For those of you watching this that already love your money and do all of the things, drop below your favorite budget app below. I absolutely use the budget tool within my banking app because with USAA, it's fantastic and it's wonderful and I can make all the modules and the needles work the way I want. With my company's banking, I actually do that through a separate app, but I do it both pen and paper and digitally so that I'm able to rectify my things the way my brain works. So again, if you have an app that you love, please drop it below so that we can all learn and share here. If you've never done a budget before, all you're going to do is just start recording and paying attention to it. So your step one is going to be start labeling what each thing is in your bank account. No judgment, all curiosity. You cannot be curious and judgmental at the same time. And for the love of all things holy, give yourself some grace. Please, please, please be patient with yourself in the moment of learning. You didn't learn to walk by standing up and starting to run. You learned by scraping your knees, and this is going to feel kind of the same way a few times over. So, step one, just get it going. Step two, start writing down what you're spending per month now that it's categorized. So you've spent a month, you've got everything done in your tool in your banking apps. Now you're going to come back and you're just going to start writing it in. Now, if you've done both of those things, you're going to be ready for step three, which is what we have on this page. And so I'm just going to go through and kind of give some descriptions to things. So you've got your budget year. This is us planning at the top of the year, and we're going to just plan the trajectory for the year. We don't care if it happens, but we're sitting in our good, happy space, and we're going to make the things happen. Now, I will definitely say that I would actually come and do this page first. One of the things that makes it really hard when you want something, and you happen to know the money is in your account, and you don't have a big picture, you're going to spend that money, and then 2 weeks later, you're going to be like, shit, I actually didn't mean to do that yet. So go fill in the how will your life be better if you make this new budget happen? How will you be better if you're starting to create your financial dreams so that you can be to the next side of this? So there are two options for budgets. I'm going to go through this guy first. But just know, if you want to be able to break down into your monthly, this is a very simplified version. So it's going to be what you want your target in to be, what your income is, and then what your expenses are. You can make your target your intention for the month financially. So maybe it is just paying attention to your coffee spending. Maybe it's just paying attention to how much you eat out. I used to be a shopaholic, and I will tell you that the thing that kept me from being a shopaholic is just I don't go in the stores. And if I go in the stores, I literally only take the cash I'm allowed to spend. I don't take a wallet. I don't take cards. I have a hard time saying no to myself. Listen, I can say no to the rest of the world all day long. I can take care of everybody else. But because I take care of everybody else, that means I will guarantee to overspend emotionally, and then I don't want to take that shit back. And that gets me in a lot of trouble. So hopefully that's helpful. All right, so in this column here, we have just your really basic items for a budget. If you decide, hey, this doesn't work for me, that's swell. Just go in, cover it up, and you can rewrite your own. Whatever makes your life froggy. So I would definitely say go in and fill in what you are currently spending here. And Gary Vee actually talked about this recently, and we don't talk about this enough. So you're filling in your now self, you're seeing where you're at, and you're realizing that maybe it's not where you need to be. So people automatically go to, okay, I can take care of removing money from eating out, and I can remove money from my funsies, but we don't really take a step back and figure out what we can do sustainably. So I want you to start thinking about this from a perspective of filling in your now self and looking at how much of this budget percentage-wise is your income. So let's say you make, it was an astronomical figure in my head. I think you saw the stuttering in my eyeballs. Let's say you make, just for easy numbers, $10,000 a month. You're going to take that rent that you're paying. So if it's $1,000, you're going to take that 1,000 divided by 10,000, and that's going to give your percentage. And you would just simply fill in that percentage right here. No, I'm not going to try to pull those numbers out of my ass. And no, I don't believe anybody that's making 10 grand a month is paying $1,000 in rent. And if they are very smart people. And then when you get finished, is this area, well, no, let me say that again. Is this area where it needs to be? And how can you move these percentages by one? So do you need to seriously look at where you're living? Is your rent higher than what your goals are for the next decade? Or are you in the right area? Is your transportation? Are you taking a shit ton of road trips that you could be splitting gas money with people for? Or are you just trying to be nice and paying for all the gas money? Just saying, it's a thing, right? So there's little tweaks that don't mean you have to go and completely change all of your habits, because here's what I know about New Year's resolutions. We think we can do everything, and then we get a month out, we haven't done but half of it, and then we're like, meh, I guess if I didn't do it, I don't have to. And our brains just don't work that way. So just look at incremental changes that are plus 1% and maybe minus 2%. Maybe you get a new AC unit put in by your landlord. That would be a magic dream, but I can dream, right? And so go through and fill this out. It's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of very calming tea and music and no distractions. But I promise the time that you take in to do this and do the math with it will exponentially let you grow on the other side. And part of the reason to do this is just to figure out where you are, where you want to be, and then coming over here and starting to create the game plan of how you're going to get there. So you have done what you're doing now. You've gone in and figured out what you need to be at. And listen, the reason I'm not giving you any numbers or telling you how to do that is because no one, not me, not AMC, the guy that rhymes with that, no financial guru can tell you where you need to be, because no matter what they tell you, you're not going to listen to it, because it's not your decision. And if it's you making the money or you finding a way to bring in the money, I hope you heard the two ways I said that, then it's your money. So you have to make the decision so that you feel like you're in control of this. All right, that was my tangent. I almost made it to 10 minutes. I would love, drop below, what are your favorite budget apps? what is your biggest takeaway from this? Because I want to know, is this style helpful when we're talking about financial learning? And run with grace.